Hi there, it's Sarah Cannon. I'm going to be doing my RDJ number 2. So the first thing that I wanted to address is the Bilingual Education Act of 1968. The act itself actually says that they provided federal grants for school districts for the purpose of establishing educational programs for children with limited English-speaking ability. So the word limited there should stand out to you the most. It basically tells you everything you need to know about where these politicians were coming from. Basically, they were coming from a perspective that the children had a deficit rather than an asset, and the fact that they could already speak another language, a different native language such as Spanish, that meant nothing, and that they needed to Americanize, they needed to learn English, and it was holding them down that they still had this tie to their culture, a different native language. And so the first question I have to answer is, how was power interrogated, and how did it satisfy or not satisfy the demands of the Latin activists and politicians? So obviously the power was interrogated. I don't know if it was interrogated to the fullest amount. It seemed like it went for the federal level, but it didn't necessarily actually address what was happening at the school level, because it's not pointing at certain school districts or saying exactly what's wrong. It's just saying that we need to provide more for them, but it's not really saying how, what's allowed and what's not allowed. And also, I'm sure it didn't satisfy them completely, because it wasn't 50-50. They weren't still allowed to speak this language while learning this new language. It was more like, no, just abandon your native language. Don't speak it at school. Don't speak it here. Like, don't, communicate with anyone in that language. You're going to speak English from now on. You are an American, and Americans speak English. And I'm sure that's not exactly what they were going for. Obviously, it was kind of a step more in the right direction, which brings me into the next question. How was it at times about language beyond language? It was definitely beyond just the language vantage point. It was more about people of color, minorities, being able to gain a platform in America and being able to, have more rights, be able to, have equal access and equal care, and have the same opportunities as anyone else could, anyone else who was white. But I mean, it obviously didn't satisfy everything that it needed to, but it was a step in the right direction. They had good intentions. And lastly, where are we now, and how much further do we have to go? What major concepts from the course come to mind? Obviously, the most prevalent thing that comes to my mind was the white-speaking narrative? I can't exactly remember the term, but it was basically, nowadays we still do have dual language programs and these bilingual programs where students can learn multiple languages at once, but it's catered towards the elite. I mean, it's making an example out of these students who already can speak a different language other than English and are learning how to speak English, and it's just, deconstructing it, and it's all catered towards the white perspective. It's so that they can, have a better resume when they apply in the business industry and things beyond that. It's more towards their benefit than any minority. But yeah, that's my RDJ number 2. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in class tomorrow. Bye.